How to talk to the opposing side. So America is divided. I know America is divided. You see hundreds and thousands of people out in the streets in various growing number of cities protesting against Donald Trump. Yikes. You know what I mean? That's intense. And I wonder what's going to happen on the day of his inauguration. But the question becomes, we have to come together. We have to work together. We have to find a certain level of unity. So what do we do? So first and foremost, I'm going to go through 3 rules that you should think about during this time as a spiritual, like like red light, stop. So first and foremost, rule number 1, do you love the person unconditionally? Yikes, that's a tough one, right? That's a very, very tough one. Because let's say you're in a barbershop, you're getting your haircut, and all of a sudden someone's having a conversation and you don't even know them. So then do you say something even though you don't love them unconditionally? Well, you have to reach down into the, if you want to, if you feel like you need to reach down into that bottom pit, that Jesus like or whatever belief system you have in that element that ties you into the light, that human being, that person is a light with gifts and wonderful understandings, and is almost like your child. You almost have to look at them as your child and your baby, and you love them, and because that's how parents love something unconditionally. So you have to look at them in that particular way. So once you place them in that bubble, once you hold them and dear them and be like, you're so wrong, but I love you so much. First, you have to go there. Right? You have to hold them like a baby. Then, you want to go into, will I be heard? That's the question. Will you be heard? You may want to say this thing because it's so important. It's so crucial. And oh my gosh, the Trump presidency, and you can't believe, or, you can't believe how these people understand Hillary, and, you can't. Well, first you gotta calm down. And maybe the other side is passionate. Maybe the other side is like super heated, and they don't even hear you. They don't even hear what you're saying or what anybody's saying. Even I've noticed that within even the Democratic side, and there's division, between individuals of how to protest. So it's like, so sometimes the anger and the visceral element is so overwhelming that people will not hear you, and you're like, I can't talk to you right now because you're not even willing to hear me, even though I love you like a baby. So you go there, and then so you love them unconditionally. Will you be heard? And does it need to be said? That's the simple one. Does it need to be said? Let's say someone is trailing toilet from their underside, and you're like, I think you need to say it, but maybe in a nice way. Do you love the person unconditionally? You don't want to be like, you don't want to be like that. So if you love the person like a baby, of course you're going, hey, listen, what's up? So when you take in those simple elements, but what about the grand element, giant elements? Like someone's being rude, and someone's being, you're at that moment, and do you say it in front of everyone, or do you, to make a point, or do you, go to a different point and then say it like, hey, listen, and it draws back into that shell that we build. Will you be heard? Because does it need to be said ties into they all tie into each other. So I think that those 3 little elements are what I've personally learned, and then I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. I'm totally like aspiring and clinging and constantly like having to reboot the consciousness. And I think me making these videos for you helps me. But I think in different areas of your life, I think that just constantly checking those elements in your life. Will I be heard? Do I love the person unconditionally? And does it need to be said? Those 3 things are crucial to our bonding and our unity. Send love. And of course, send love. Send love to people. They may be wrong. They may be right. Who knows? There may be a mixture of the two. You may disagree with them from some moral, crucial issues, and think they're like, oh my gosh, I can't even understand that you exist and how you exist. But they exist. And they exist by the grace of the light of the Creator. The greater light of the Creator has given this individual to encounter your life to help you learn something. Ta-da! I want to wish you all a wonderful year. Take care.